Electric Motor Division, General Motors Corporation, MI, Maintenance Instruction 315, Maintenance Instruction Crankcase, Lower Deck Repair, Introduction. Following procedure will ensure the task record field with the repair of the repair engine with the damaged lower crankcase bore with the original dimension, restore with the building up with the damaged bore with the well, with the reboring, boring well. Boring bars are available. Electric Motive Division rental for the base of the procedure may be used with the blend with determined only with a small percentage of bores and the crankcase need to repair. It can be employed with the engine with the place for the unless the other damage requires removal of the crankcase from the oil pan. Crankcase successfully lower with the bore damage of 50% of the bore of the cylinder should be the alter with the receive with a 60,000 inch oversight with the diameter of the lower liner insert. Caesar with the data. The end liner insert with the also insert and installed with the full engine set. Only required with the engine to be removed to be bored. Use the portable lower deck boring bar is not recommended in all cases. All crankcases containing oversized parts, including lower line insert, that must be identified. Revised engine data plate 816-3005 mounted with the right bank side of the crankcase. Preparation for repair: remove the complete cylinder assembly with the damaged bore with the bolt with the adjacent with the bore with the blank bank with the remove of the cylinder assembly with the direct opposite of the damaged bore. 2. Remove lower liner insert of the damaged bore. Refer to the engine maintenance manual. 3. Clean the engine oil pan throughout. 4. Make light gauge sheet metal covers with the rear stress and that plate. Inspect hole with the liner. Detect plate with the holes of the assembly have been removed. 5. Mask off of the non-foreign material. Again, get into the joining line port cylinder assembly remaining in the engine. 6. Be sure the crankshaft journal will remove with the cylinder assembly, protect with the weld, spatter with the chip with the damage with the wrapping with the clean towel with the covering them with the sheet metal. 7. Make sheet metal shoot to go under the liner plates where welding and boring will be done. Welding procedure: warranty to provide adequate fire protection. Fire extinguishers must be available near repair area. The person should be on hand at all times to act as fire watch. It is suggested that all persons concerned with the procedure given the needed instruction familiar with the general engine crankcase welding and repair. Caution: never ground welding circuits through the moving parts of the engine. Ground welding circuits are as close as possible to work. This will eliminate possible arcing through the bearings moving the parts of the engine. 7. 1. Pack area adjacent to the repair area where the wet rags conduct heat, but do not allow them to contact with the weld. The rags should not be so wet that the water will come in contact with the welded material. Every effort should be taken to minimize the heat of the welding. After each weld, cool the area of the water. With the exemption of first speed, valve of the weld buildup should be peened to relieve stress. Note: welding repair cylinder lower pilot bores, insert bores, crankcase due to wear with a minor damage to the not require furnace stress for the relief. However, the furnace stress relief is required for the multiple part assembly failure to damage stress plates and or base rails. Crankcase requiring furnace stress relief should be returned to Electric Motive for remanufacturing. 2. Thoroughly clean and dry surface the weld, build up the damaged area. Electrical welding using class E6012 electrode, eighth of an inch diameter only. Straight polarity DC or AC. And scraping when necessary should be done with the grinding and chipping with a cutting torch. Not using a cutting torch, not recommended. The X of in the A-frame of the stress plate should be dipped out and dimpled out with a grinding wheel. Carefully should be taken to smooth out all sharp edges. At 5. Use screws. Using a series of unbroken stringer beads, apply with a 5/16 inch weld bead upper and lower edge of the lower pilot bore around the center of the bore. So the very first welded metal applied under the circumference of the repair area. The metal will be bored for a finished job. If there's any question of the quality of the weld deposit, it should be removed immediately and re-welded. This will eliminate removal of the boring bar to re-weld later. Okay, your bore bar application. Caution: the bore bar is a precision tool. Due care that must be exercised with the handling and use before placing the bore bar fixture into the cylinder. Cleaning the cylinder head with the retainer through the wire brush through the interior with remove any loose carbon. Clean cylinder head set ring seating surface. Boring bar designed to be used with a cylinder head seating ring. A new seat ring should be used with the strength of the bore. Seat ring would lower the horizontal cuts to the extent of the reduction of seat ring thickness. When using bore bar assembly, check to see that the pilot rung is applied with the bar. But also check with the center bracket fixture is applied with the head over the bar. When centering bracket is properly entered into the water hole, the fixture is torqued with the bar will seat correctly and seat ring. Lift the fixture with the eyeballs provided with the lower fixture and then into the cylinder bore. Make sure the fixture with the properly seated with the retainer before applying with the cylinder head crabs. Specially machined, this thin crab nut is furnished for a right-hand crab to allow enough crab bolt threads to protrude through the apply with the air motor stop. Figure 1, stop attacks of the anchor for the air motor, preventing it from revolving tight in each crab nut of the torque wall to 100 foot-pounds. And then it shows the air motor stop of the depth nut, the feed speed screw with the seat ring, the center bracket, the pilot ring, the upper liner pilot, the inserting counter bore, lower liner insert bar, tool head, bore bar application. Figure 2 show the view of feed screw, depth of the nut gauge, and of this application the gauge is you with the check location of the feed screw, the depth of the nut relation with the top of the feed screw, with the furnish for the means for the checking, the setup of the fixture of the feed screw, with the depth of the nut adjustment should not change as it is pinned to feed with the screw with the butt should be checked. This is impaired with a multi-vane non-reversible air motor must be used for this work. Whenever you use the piston type motor, because of the pulsation between each power stroke will make the cutting tool shatter. Note, when lubricating of the bore bar required, apply with the Texaco Marfax heavy duty number 3 grease to all gears and bearings. May be used any of the bore weld buildup results in close bar clearance, rough boring tool, insert counter bore, depth gauge, and depth of the nut button, tool button gauge, tool bit and gauge, insert the bore diameter, tool bit gauge, insert counter bore diameter, reboring procedure. For attempting to machine out of the bore diameters, be sure the bore circumference has not been reduced to build up by weld buildup, so the tool bit holder strikes the added metal. Rough boring cutting tool figure 2 has been developed for the purpose of cutting out the excess of the metal, so the tool holder will clear it and insert the cleanup of the cutter and into a tool holder as far as it will go. It will be necessary to back off the tool bit feeder screw to allow the tool bit to rest against the body of the tool holder. After the excess metal has been cut out, remove the rough bore cutting tool with the rough, and the first cut should be made. Each cutting application be sure to leave it at least 15,000 of an inch for finish cut. After the rough cuts are made, through the inspection must be made with a machine server. If any of the defects found, with the remove of the boring bar completely, grind with the defect with a re-weld the effect of the area, and reinstall the boring bar to reflect. Make the finish cuts. All the defects must be patched before finishing. The cut is made with the welding. After the finish cut, with the wheels draw the holes out with around 3 sets of each of the boring diameter set tool bits, standard equipment, the boring bar assembly. However, any of the good machining operation, highly recommended the rough cuts may be made with one of the tool kits. Bits finish cuts made with another bit. The procedure conjunction with the use of the coolant while boring will ensure the smoother, proper finish. C-tool bit minimum grind length limited to the strip of the dab of the back of the instruction. Engine machining. Machining the lower liner of the vertical bore first, then the lower liner of the counter bore. Lower liner insert bore. After making cleanup pass through the bore, make sufficient the rough cuts to leave with approximately 15,000 inch for the finish cut. C. Strap the tool bit with the finished bore with apply with the unused tool bit to the holder. Insert with the gauge of the place with the slot with the bottom of the tool holder to the end of the contact. Locating the pin is shown in figure 2. With the carefully slide with the tool bit out until it has contact with the radius and interface of the gauge. Tighten the tool bit holder screws securely the set of the tool bit with the finished diameter. 3. Make trial finish cut slightly into the bore. This can be done if the counter bore is yet to be machined. Check with the bore with the inside micrometer. If the diameter is correct, continue with the finish of the bore or reset the tool bit if required to obtain the finished diameter specified in service data. Insert counter bore. Insert counter bore into is machined with the diameter specified with the service data. The depth of the counter bore is limited by U with the depth of the gauge on the feed screw depth nut as shown in figure 2. The make sufficient rough cut the diameter depth allow with a 15,000 inch for the finish cut to permit the 15,000 inch depth finish cut the plate for the depth gauge for the gauge bottom of the tool head using a 15,000 inch feeler gauge between the gauge button and depth gauge feel down with the cut until the depth that is just snug enough to feel with the gauge. 4. Finish the cut and it's made with the feeling down until the depth nut contact with the depth gauge for the finished diameter of the tool bit gauge is played with the tool holder as shown in figure 2. The tool bit is brought out with just contact with the radius for the interface of the gauge. Note the tool bit is the bottom of the shank ground with the flush for the cutting edge of the maintain correct depth of using the depth gauge service. Get depth gauge. We're preparing engine for service dress plate inspection. Cleaning up the damaged dress plate is very important, but with the attempt of the never made with the trait and the bent strip of the plate, with all ragged and torn metal, with all sharp edges must be removed, with all nicks must be dimpled out. Be sure with the stress plate with the inspection hole for the smooth airflow of the contour. Any of these defects left uncorrected could eventually cause cracks to occur when the stress plates. 1. Clean engine thoroughly. Imperative to all of the fuel and carbidonium residue. Remove the spray and wash wipe engine clean. Flush engine lubricating system according to the maintenance instructions 1757. Using procedure given the flush after the part's failure. Install lower liner insert cylinder assembly according to engine maintenance manual recommendations. Caution: once the engine has been altered to accept the oversized lower liner inserts, standard inserts may not be used. 5. Check engine oil with recommended coolant and lube oil with a pre-lube is fouled. Note on engines not equipped with lube oil strainer housing, perform standard lube procedure for the specified engine configuration. Remove the pipe plug with the main lube oil pump and the discharge elbow connecting with the external source of the clean warm oil discharge elbow. Pre-lube engine at a minimum of 10 psi for the period of not less than 3 to no more than 5 minutes. Remove the pipe plug with the piston cooling with the oil pump discharge elbow. Connect with the external oil source at the opening with a check with the unrestricted oil at each position cooling tube. Disconnect external oil source of the replace with the pipe plug with the pumping discharge elbows. Deapply oil liberally with the engine top deck. E. Only turbocharged engines actively auxiliary turbo lube oil pump motor looking through the rear hole and all of the oil flow at the turbocharger end of the engine. F. Replace and securely close all handhold covers. 6. Engine starting procedures. Check oil level of the engine over the governor. Make square opening of lube oil strainer. Make certain the strainer housing is full. Check engine coolant level. Open and cylinder test valve of the bar over the engine at least 1 revolution. Check with the leakage and test valve. Close over the test valve. Properly position opening, control, and switch. E. Prime the fuel system. 1 units equipped with check the fuel flows to return fuel sight. Glass clear and free of bubbles. F. Position governor rack control lever to lay shaft lever at about 1/3 rack, then operating the engine start switch until the engine fires and speed increases. G. Hold the rack control lever until the engine fires and comes up to idle speed. 7. Run the engine unload with a 10 minutes idle speed with the top deck cover the opening to make certain the valve mechanism operating properly through the efficient lubrication. Shut engine down. Inspect rod bearings, main bearings of the excessive heating by field with the run engine load with 30 minutes for the 1 core speed, and once again engine again shut down. Inspect rod bearings and main bearings overheating. Run with the proper governor setting rated to horsepower approximately 1/2 of 3/4 and full speed for 30 minutes after each speed. Start engine, shut down engine, check rod for the main bearing temperatures. 8. Run engine 1 hour with the full engine speed at rated loaded. 9. Inspect cleaning lube oil suction screens, renew lube oil filters. And 10. Check governor settings, injector racks, injector timing, and engine speed. Service data. Specification standard lower inner insert bore finish diameter 11 inches and 62 thousandths of an inch to 11 inches 68 thousandths of an inch. Counter bore preferred diameter 11 and 311,000 to 11 and 314,000 of an inch. Nominal diameter 11 and 302,000 of an inch, 11 and 322,000 of an inch. Oversized liner insert 11 and 122,000 inch to 11 and 128,000 of an inch. Counterbore preferred diameter 11,400 and 5,000 inch to 11,404. 11 and 408,000 of an inch. Nominal diameter 11,396,000 of an inch to 11 and 416,000 of an inch. Alright, figure 3 show that identify with the groove's oversized standard lower linear inserts. The oversize is 60 thousandths of an inch, double witness grooves, single or none, standard size. No oversized lower liner inserts are installed with a full engine set of the engine. Must remove the board to a new oversized dimension, or when the crankcase has been reboarded, except the oversized inserts, standard inserts must not be used. Minimum grind length of the tool bits 3 and 1/32 of an inch, 2 and 29/32 of an inch, 2 and 5/8 of an inch. Part, you got your tool bits, your air motor stopper, crab nut, lower deck out bar, assembly, lower deck boring bar, depth gauge, insert counter bore, tool bit gauge, insert counter bore, tool bit gauge, insert bore, pilot ring, upper pilot bore, eye bolt, air motor, non-reversible multi-vane, included to the lower deck boring bar, assembly for rental, and contact EMDA district representative. Alright, that was your Electric Motor Division General Motors Corporation Maintenance Instruction Crankcase Lower Deck Repair Maintenance Instruction 315, Revision D.